Do you want to know the secrets to making dark, spooky beats like Travis Scott?
I need the Heimlich, throw that to the side. Yeah. This not the molly, this the boot. Oh, I don't follow suit. Stacy Dash, most of these girls ain't got a clue.
These beats don't just hit hard, they also create an atmosphere. It makes you feel like you're floating while also getting hit with an 808. Today I'm going to show you the secrets that Travis Scott's producers like Metro Boomin, Wonder Girl, and Mike Dean use to make these signature beats. The first step is the melody. There are so many plugins you can use to make the melody. Nexus, Omnisphere, Electra X. I'm going to use Scorch because it has some really dark hip-hop style sounds. One of my favorite ways to start a beat like this is by having a pad. I'm going to start in the C minor scale, and I'm going to start with these root notes here. And I'm going to turn these into chords. And I'm going to use a technique called inverting, where I'm going to grab all the middle notes and then move them down an octave. You'll see how insanely dark this makes the melody sound. I have this other sound here. Now I'm going to layer this on top. I've got this guitar preset here. I want to copy the chords from before. I want to use an arpeggiator tool by using Alt-A. I have the range set on 2 and I have it set on alternate, and the time multiplicator is on zoom level 1. I'm also going to use the randomize tool, and I'm going to change some of the pan around and some of the velocity around. Nothing is going to sound as good as actually playing a melody on a real guitar, but you can get pretty close by adding this human kind of feel to it. There are really energetic guitar melodies like this in songs like Highest in the Room.
I'm the highest in the room. Hope I make it out of here.
We have this big bass here. I also have this evolving synth here, just to add some texture. This will help so much in the future when it comes to arranging this track, because there's going to be so many layers that you can mess around with. I added this counter melody here, which simply follows the notes in the chord, and we also have this slight switch up here, where we go from the G to the G sharp. This reminds me so much of the melody in Coordinate. It sounds so spooky, wide, and mysterious. We have this kick here. I copied the kick sequence onto the 808 here, and I'm basically just going to follow these notes. If you want to get over 10,000 royalty-free emotional samples, click the link in the description to get the Emotional Essence library. It has samples and MIDI for every single emotion. So there's Dark Mysterious, which is perfect for a track like this, but there's also so many different emotions you can use no matter what artist or style you're trying to create. The kick pattern isn't incredibly complicated, which gives me the ability to go and fill in some of these gaps with the 808, which makes it sound really cool, because if you have the kick and the 808 coming in together every single time, it can get repetitive and you're missing out on lots of bounce that you can add. If you're finishing a beat with a really high octave 808 like this, I recommend going and grabbing an extra 808 note, holding down Alt and dragging it back slightly, and while you're still holding Alt, trim it all the way to the end and go and lower the volume of that. And what that means is, when the beat drops out, you're not going to have this long 808 that hangs all the way in. It'll instantly snap back. I'm going to add a snare. You can add lower pitch claps like this. And you can also not put a sample on C5. You can move it down to B, for example, to get a little bit more of a darker feel. Some lower pitch crashes like this can add so much atmosphere. It's really cool to make a beat kind of feel like it's breathing by adding in some layers like this, which come in slightly after the normal beat. This open hi-hat sounds good, but to make the beat sound darker, I'm going to lower the pitch. I've got these hi-hat rolls here. All you have to do is turn the magnet onto 1/3 step, grab a hi-hat, click Ctrl U to slice it up, and lower the volume. You can make the first one really loud and the second one's quiet, so it still has the same rhythm. I'm also going to lower the pitch down to a B. going to go and grab the randomize tool and just randomize the pan a little bit. I added this snare roll in the end here. And now it's time to mix this track, and there's so many effects and mixing techniques you can use to get that dark kind of feel. I'm going to grab everything, go into a mixer track, do Control-Shift-L, which is going to send everything there, and go through layer by layer. This can definitely use some reverb. And since this is one of the main melodies, I'm going to go into the EQ and cut out some of these low ends here, which are going to be clashing with the bass and some of the lower pitch melodies. This guitar sounds good. I'm going to lower some of the higher frequencies because it sounds a bit sharp. Add some reverb. I'm going to add some width to this here by using Isotope Ozone 9 Imager. And one technique I didn't really mention, but can really help with getting that same kind of mysterious vibe, is by slightly delaying some of the notes. I want to keep this one at the very start, but you'll notice that in a lot of Travis Scott's tracks. I'm just going to add a soft clipper like this one here. Split by channel. I'm going to grab all of these and drag them in. For the arrangement of this track, I have this 8-bar intro, which is most of the melody layers except for the guitar. I'm going to delay the intro for these plucks here, so it comes in 4 bars in. And then we bring everything out except for the guitar and this chord here. To add some depth, I'm going to grab this transition and just lower it about 600 cents. Same for this crash here. It's just a rise that I reversed. So we have an 8-bar intro. We have a 16-bar verse, which starts with this guitar here, and then is transitioned for the pluck. And then we have an 8-bar hook, which is supposed to be a little bit warmer. So I brought these main chords back in. And then to turn this into a full track, all I'm going to do is duplicate it. It is a little bit confusing duplicating things when you have these transitions. Shift Q is the shortcut to quantize inside the playlist. And just like that, we have a finished track that is perfect for artists like Travis Scott. If you want to get the samples I used to make this beat, click the link in the description or go to wavegrind.com. If you want to learn how other top producers make their signature tracks, click one of the recommended videos or my channel.